I want to ask you a question. Where are you at with your New Year's resolution? Ama, you already forgot about them. April is done, and what that means is that the first third of the year is gone. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, which is all about mental health awareness and wellness. So the question is, all those I will work out, or sijui I will quit my job and start a new business, or maybe you told yourself that you're going to get into a new relationship. Where are you with those goals? I know most of us, we set those goals and then the first month comes, and then by the time we are in the third month, we have already forgotten them. But worry not, that is why I am here, because I want us to talk about goals and how to set them and actually achieve them. Because most of the times we keep adding the same goals year in, year out, and then we forget them, and then in a baki kuwa story. So that is not what we want. So what is it about goals? Goals are very important because they help you to see where you want to achieve, where you want to reach in terms of your career, in terms of your relationships, in terms of your physical body, and that is why we set them. And the first thing obviously is usually we hear set SMART goals. And I know Kenyans, we know SMART means looking good, but that is not what we are talking about. SMART is usually an abbreviation for specific, measurable, attainable, reliable, and then time bound. So the reason we say this is that you need to be very clear on what you want. You cannot just say, oh, I just want to be rich or be married at 30. I know that is something that we all keep saying, but then you have to be specific. If right now, let's say I'm earning 30,000 Kenya shillings, I need to maybe set a goal of moving to 60, to 100, then to 300, then to 1 million. It can't be, oh, one day I want to make more money. You have to be very specific. It has to be measurable in terms of shillings, in terms of those kgs in your weight, in terms of the number of times you talk to your person every week. It has to be very measurable. The other thing is it has to be attainable. I mean, do you have the resources? Do you have the connections? Do you have the papers? Do you have anything to support your goal and your dreams? Then this is something worth thinking about. The other thing is that it has to be realistic. It has to make sense. And lastly, it has to have a timeline, because like I'm saying, you cannot just say, someday I'm going to start reading books. There's a book that says someday is not a day in the week, and that really stuck in my mind because it's either you do or you don't. So have a timeline, say by January, by March, by my birthday, by I don't know, the end of the year, I need to have achieved these things, and then you're going to make it. Once you have set your specific goals, then it is time to now break them into small pieces. Now, the reason we are talking about goals, and this is a mental health channel, is because sometimes when we think of our goals, we think like, oh my God, how am I going to reach that? Or when you think about, I want to have a mansion one day and I am living in a bed sitter, I mean, how can that happen? Then when you look at it like that, it may sound so big, but the most important thing is to break it into very small chunks that are really attainable. And that is why we say have long-term goals, mid-term, short-term, and even daily goals that you can be able to do to see yourself moving forward. The next thing to do is, of course, put into action what you have planned. I mean, you cannot just say, oh, I need to lose 10 kgs and you're not going to work out every day or at least thrice a week. You know, you need to now put into action what you're saying. And what are the things that make us actually not put things into action? Of course, procrastination, making excuses, which are things that you already should foresee and plan around them. Example, if you say, like for me, I have been working out. So if I say that I want to be working out once I leave the workplace, what is going to come in my way and me going to the gym? Of course, it will be maybe going to hang around, maybe being on social media all evening. Then I will not make it possible for myself to reach my goal. So the important thing is to keep the obstacles away, already foresee them and seek solutions for them. The other thing is to, of course, be kind to yourself. Imagine you're not your goals. Sometimes you're always like, oh, Maryanne, you had said you will read that book. Look, it's end month, you have not even read anything. Please, 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 please be kind. Because when you start blaming yourself and complaining, then you will even lose sight of your goal. The other thing to do is to not tie your goals to your self-esteem. You're worthy, despite how you are, despite your situation. And actually what that means is enjoy what you have right now as you're getting towards where you need to be. So if you are living the way you are, if you're looking the way you are, you need to appreciate where you are. When you start maybe playing victim, feeling sorry for yourself, then you're not even going to make it to where you need to be. So it is very important to appreciate your journey as you are getting along to reaching your goals. The next thing is to reward yourself. The way our brains are made, we are beings of survival. We need something to spark us. So most of the time reaching our goals is not really the nicest of things. Nobody says, oh, I love to do this squat and I feel so good. Nobody says that. But when you reward yourself every time you do something, like let's say you tell yourself, I'm going to study a chapter and then I'm going to do Netflix. You see, at least you're going to look forward to it. And then within no time, you will find that you have actually met your goals. The other thing is usually to write them down and also track your progress. That is why we have journals. That is why we have vision boards. They're very important because it is very easy to forget your goals. It is very easy to go back to your comfort zone where you are and completely, maybe towards the end of the year is when you're remembering, oh my goodness, I was supposed to start doing this project. So it is very important to have it down, write it down, reflect about it on a daily basis, weekly basis, and monthly basis. And lastly, it is very important to have an accountability person. Be accountable, even if it's just to yourself. But better yet, it is usually very important to do it with another person. It could be a spouse, a relative, a friend. It could be your own boss. It could be your colleague. Just have someone to keep you in check. And that actually makes you now focus more on now doing your goals. An example for me is I recently joined a book club. And you know, with book clubs, when the month starts, you're told we are going to read this book, and then during the end of the month, we are going to talk about the book. So every time before it is end month, I'm always like, "Woi, Ebu, let me read that book so that I have at least something to say in the group." So that is a form of accountability, and it really, really works well. So these are the things that actually help us reach our goals, and goals do not have to be these big things. They can be the small steps that you keep making towards making yourself a better person. And remember, don't compare yourself to anyone. Just compare to who you were yesterday, and as long as you're doing that work, as long as you're making that progress, you're good to go. So I hope that you have learned something from this video. Please don't forget to like, comment, and share. And until next time, remember that mental health is for everyone.